Hello and welcome to a brief tutorial on how to add voiceover to a PowerPoint presentation. I'm putting this presentation together, this little video demonstration together for any faculty members who might find themselves needing to take material to an online setting. Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze. Not sure why you would need to do that rapidly this week. Hachoo! But just in case you are used to teaching in a traditional classroom setting and you have PowerPoint content that you use, you can add audio to slides and then make the PowerPoint available to students through Moodle or Canvas or one of your other online learning systems. So I'm using PowerPoint version 2016, which is the version my college has installed for or from Office 365. So this is the 2016 version of PowerPoint. I have got a presentation, so I recommend that you put your presentation together first. So get all of your slides in the order that you want, get the information that you want to talk about. And here I'm going to add many small /home authors, and I've finished up my slides here, and now I want to add a voiceover to the slides. So to add a voiceover to the slide, you go to the Insert tab, and then the Audio tab, and then you select Record Audio. You can name your audio. I keep it simple. I just whatever the slide, wherever this audio goes in the presentation, I just give it that slide number. So this is slide number 3. I'm going to name my audio recording slide 3. Now when I'm ready to speak, I will press the record button and then I will talk into my microphone. That's probably a detail I should have mentioned right up front. You need to have a microphone plugged into your computer. So if you're on a laptop, most modern laptops come equipped with a microphone. If you are on a desktop PC, you'll need to invest in a microphone, and there are several good choices out there. Amazon and Best Buy have a bunch of relatively inexpensive microphones that do an okay job, right? This is just to get us through this situation, right? I'm not trying to turn you into a professional podcaster here. So I named my recording, slide 3. I'm going to press the record button, and then I'm going to add the narration for the slide. This window moves, so I can move the window out of the way if I want to look at the slide while I'm speaking. I press the record button, and then I talk. Right, so I pressed my record button. So in the 1970s, early to mid 1970s, the Dungeons and Dragons craze didn't exist. What did exist were many newsletters run from home offices, run out of people's garage. They would type things up on a manual typewriter, blah, 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 right? I'm doing my lecture. When I'm done speaking to this slide, I press the stop button, right? The blue square here is stop. I press stop, and now if I'm all done, I can press play and hear what I recorded. And it will play back through the speakers. That's not going to get picked up by my screen recording software, I'm afraid. But when I'm all done, I hit OK. And it will add this silver speaker icon to the page. Now, another recommendation is that you place this speaker icon in the same place on all of your slides. That way your students know, okay, that's the speaker icon, that's the lecture, I know where to go to get that information. Okay, so I've done that for all 3 of these slides now. I've also put a little hint here for my students click the speaker icon in the upper right-hand corner to hear the lecture. And when we put this into presentation mode, what you will see is when you mouse over that, you'll see a play button. If you click it, let's back up here. So when you mouse over the speaker, you'll see a play button. You press the play button and it will play the lecture. And then when you move to the next slide, here's the lecture for slide 2, and I've pressed the play button, and now you can hear that lecture as well. Okay, so we have put a voiceover, just insert audio, record audio, and we've placed the slide 1 audio on slide 1, the slide 2 audio on slide 2, and the slide 3 audio on slide 3. I could add a slide 4, add a new slide, put in some more content, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And then when I'm ready, I'm not going to finish up this slide. I add pictures or something. I then go back over to audio, record, and now I'm going to record my audio for slide 4. Hit the record button, talk to the slide. When I'm done speaking, press the stop button, press OK, and then move the speaker icon will usually get put dead center of the slide. I like to move mine to the upper right just so that it's in a consistent place again for my students. Now when I'm all done, I have a couple of options. I can just save this presentation and then upload the PowerPoint presentation, and if my students have PowerPoint, they can launch the lecture, put it into presentation mode, either press the F5 function key or click this little presentation start from the beginning icon here in PowerPoint. The other thing I can do is I can export this presentation. So if I go to export, I can create a video. So I'm going to click export, create a video. I can change the quality of the presentation. So if your students are all on broadband with fast computers, you can leave it presentation or internet quality. If you're concerned that it's going to take up too much space or it's going to take a long time to download, you can go down to low quality. My slides didn't have a lot of complicated graphics, so I'm going to go to low quality. When you first go to this page, you'll see that it says don't use recorded timings and narration. I click that and then pick use recorded timings and narration. Now, if this is grayed out, go down and select record timing and narration. So if you pick record timing and narration, you'll get this record slideshow menu pop up, and it will ask you what do you want to record before you are going to record the lecture. I've got slides and animation timings. I've got narrations, ink, and laser pointer. Those are all checked just in case I use any of that stuff. And then I'm going to press start recording. Now, this is kind of a two-step process. What we did before we got to this export page, we were making individual lecture audio recordings per slide. This recording, we are going to record the whole slideshow. So this is going to go into a video file. So I'll hit start recording, and now I will behave the way I want the students to I'll behave the way I want the students to behave. So this is the first slide. I'm going to play my recorded lecture, and it'll play. And after the lecture's done, I will mouse up here and press next, which will take me to the next slide. Okay, so if I wanted to wait here longer, I could delay. The longer I delay here, the longer the video will play on this slide. So I'm going to hit next to go to the next slide. And then I will play the audio for this slide.
So let's talk about 1974. So 1974 is an important.
And we'll let the audio play. And when the audio's done, we will go to the next slide.
That Gary Gygax published the first ever edition of Dungeons and Dragons. So prior to 1974.
Okay, and then we'll go. Let's just assume that we let the narration go to the end. We'll hit next, and then we can start the narration here. Right, that's another 30 seconds of narration. We'll just hit play. It'll play the narration, and then when we're done, we go to the next slide, and then we're finished the presentation. We go back to this page, and then we hit the create video. It'll bring up a save dialog, so I'm going to save this as an MP4. MP4 is probably the easiest thing for people to see. Windows Media Player plays great on Windows, but MP4s will play great on Android, Apple, iPhone. So I'm going to hit save, and now I have saved off the video recording. Okay, so there's two ways you can do this, right? We've talked about that. I showed you, we just went through the whole how to record your slideshow as a video presentation. I think the easiest way is just to make the individual slide recordings, right? Here I am on my slide. Again, I'll run through that again quickly. Insert, audio recording, record my audio, change recorded sound. This is slide 4 already. Slide 4, press record, blah, 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 blah. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It's a lovely place. It's where Gary Gygax did a bunch of work, blah, 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 blah. Press stop, press OK, move the icon to the same spot on, so it's the same place on every slide, and then file, whoops, I have to cancel out of here. File, save. Okay. And then upload that PowerPoint to your learning management system. I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, I will put my email address somewhere near where I have posted this video, and I'll also put in links to some inexpensive microphones.